Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Christiana Mausi. I'd like to talk about 7 most common infections that are spread in the hair and nail salons. Now, the first one is hepatitis, specifically hepatitis B and C. In fact, pedicure is known to be notorious for spreading hepatitis B and C. And why? This is because, during pedicure, they have certain abrasive tools. A common example is the pumice stone and some other tools that they use. So they use these tools to scrape the under of your feet. So during the process, they could pick up, blood-borne infectious organisms and then transfer it to the next customer that is waiting to get their pedicure done. And this will happen because they do not sterilize the tools before using from one client or customer to the other. So it becomes risky for you. And remember, if you get hepatitis B and C, it progresses into what? Scarred liver. Your liver becomes cirrhosis and it cannot function again. And then in some cases, it proceeds further to what? Liver cancer. And this is deadly. You do not want to go through this. And I believe if everybody becomes, more conscious of their health, conscious of the fact that they do not want to get these infections, for that matter, when they go to the salons, they want to check the sterilizer, the UV sterilizer that is displayed there. Is it working, or it's just showing the blue light? So you want to check those to be sure they are working. Some of them are not functional at all, and others, even though they are working, but not effective enough to sterilize the tools that are being placed in them. There are several germicides, special chemicals that can be used to sterilize the tools that they use in these salons. But sometimes they don't use them. So it puts you, the customer, at risk. So I entreat every one of us to be more conscious of the fact that we do not want to get these infections. Hence, when you go to the salon, you want to observe their hygiene practices, how they handle their tools. After the client before you, do they sterilize it, or they just pour some hot water on it, rinse it, and then use it on you? That is putting you at risk. The next infection is and for the pedicure too, please, if you have a wound or sore on your leg or your feet, don't go for pedicure. If you have any infection, you are going to infect other customers, or if you do not have those infections, it exposes your skin to infection because already there is a cut or there is a wound or blister. So once they use the tools on it, the tools that may be filled with all these viruses or bacteria, it introduces them into your body directly, and then you get infected. So please, let's take care of ourselves. The next infection is herpes, and herpes is incurable. Once you get the virus, it stays with you forever. So please advise yourselves. It's very important. And those who own salons, we encourage them to do the right thing. They should sterilize their equipment. Some of the chemicals are in the form of sprays that they can use on them to, kill the organisms that are on them. The next infection is HIV. Imagine, after doing a haircut, after shaving an HIV positive person, and then the same razor, which is likely to be exposed to some blood, because during shaving there is some micro tears or micro abrasions, which can, cause the body to produce some blood, to release blood and some body fluids. And this will get onto the razor, and the razor, because it's not sterilized, it is used on you, and then you could get infected with HIV. The next infection is gonorrhea and chlamydia. And these are sexually transmitted infections that you can get through waxing. So if you go to the spa for waxing, and then the technician chooses a wooden spatula to use for you, and then after dipping the wooden spatula to take the quantity of wax he or she needs to wax your pubic area or your private area, after applying the first layer of wax, he or she thinks they need more wax to add. So they do double dipping. So it's like you are using a single wooden spatula for a client. You have touched the client's skin with the spatula already. So you cannot dip it back into the container in which your wax is. If once you dip it in, it becomes double dipping, and this will, introduce whichever bacteria or virus is, is present on the skin into the container, and you contaminate the whole, wax that you have. So the next client, innocent, unsuspecting client that comes, is at risk of getting, such infections because of your negligence. So please, once the quantity of wax you need, just take it in something, say for single use. Once you are done, you discard. So you do not go back with the same spatula to dip inside the wax. Please, let's be conscious of preventing these infections. The next one is fungal and bacterial skin infections. For example, you could go for pedicure, and because somebody had, those bacteria on the scraped from their skin, it gets on yours, and then it gives you, infection, bacterial infection or fungal infection. Your nail changes color, becomes darker or dark green. That is not good for you, and it's not good, it's not healthy. So please, I want all of us to be more conscious of our health. The fact that we do not want to, acquire infection at the hair and nail salons. The barbers, they should, get the UV sterilizers that are actually working. Some of them, you see them and they are even broken. The sterilizer is just there. They just pack the clippers, hair clippers, the comb, the hair brush, everything inside. And this practice of, using hairbrush whilst barbering the head during haircuts, they apply the hairbrush, and they use that single hairbrush for all the customers who come to barber their hair. This is dangerous, because you'll be exposing people to so many germs. And how well do they sterilize? Do they even sterilize these hairbrushes at all? Or they are just there, they use it for number of people, the next day it continues like that. So please, we need to be more vigilant. Once we demand that level of standard from them, they will all sit up and make sure that they keep their things sterilized and to work well for us, to reduce the spread of these infections. Thank you, and in my next video, I'll talk about some preventive measures that you, the customer, can take in order to, reduce or prevent your, you getting into contact with, any of these microorganisms that could cause infection to you. So thank you, and watch out for that video. Bye.